Read all the stories about BYU sports no one else has heard. Go to KSLSports.com for exclusive columns by BYU insider Mitch Harper. That's KSLSports.com.
Welcome back into First and 12 here on KSL News Radio. Every week, weekly check-in on the Big 12, and you can listen to the show if you miss any part of it on podcast, KSL Sports app, and all major podcasting platforms. Let's dive into all the news and notes around the league in our First and 12 headlines.
12 headlines.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
The dozen storylines that shape this week of Big 12 football. Headline 1.
All right, first up on the Big 12 headlines here. Right off the bat, kind of wild, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, if we're just going to talk news, because we'll talk about the games from this past weekend, and we'll talk about the ones coming up, but Arizona State's quarterback, Sam Leavitt, no one asked, but apparently here we are wondering if Sam Leavitt's going to be back at Arizona State. Is this all just based off of what his brother Dallin said on 3?
It's all based on, apparently there's been a lot of movement in the agent pool of positioning players and putting out feelers to see what type of money could be out there in the market. And Sam Leavitt's brother, Dallin Leavitt, who was a former BYU player, played for the Raiders, also played at Utah State. He told On 3's Pete Nakos that Sam is still deciding what to do. So not really denying the report that he's doubtful to come back to Arizona State. So just the world of college football today, and Leavitt, of course, out for the season. So he's looking at options and maybe keeping those options open because his head coach, too, is kind of up in the air as well. His status is.
I don't know if he is up in the air or not, but at the very least, it's being talked about. And, the Sam Leavitt thing to me is kind of interesting because this is a guy who's already being compensated well into the 7 figures. And so if you just want to hire 7 figures, like, I get it. Like, we're all in the business to try to figure out how we can support our families a little bit better. I get it. It is strange. Now, I mean, it's not like he...
But at some point, don't you want to just be viewed as like a legend? Like, Arizona State fans will always say, that guy got us to the playoff.
Right.
And this year, even, like, he wasn't great dealing with injuries, but you'll always be remembered as the guy that got Arizona State football back, and you leave, that goes out the window.
Oh, it doesn't just go out the window. You're this, you're this Benedict Arnold situation where you've basically just, submarined your old team, and then you're playing against them at some point in the college football playoff. Maybe what is he going to do? You go to Penn State, be the quarterback there, and you're going to be, making $4 million instead of $3 million. Congrats, but careful what you wish for. You know what I mean? You've got a great coach where you're at and a program that could be on the rise. What's really sad about this is that Arizona State could take a massive dip if they just don't have a quarterback figured out, and that's a wild place to be in.
How about a quarterback? Maybe have Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech be the QB. He once was that at Virginia. Headline 2, Texas Tech last week hammered UCF 48-9, and Rodriguez scored a touchdown on a touchdown run. Red Raiders are 10-1. Are you trending up on your feelings about Rodriguez being a Heisman guy?
And I hate this kind of a move. I hate this kind of a move. Honestly, I love being able to put guys like Jacob Rodriguez up on the pedestal. You don't need to do this argument for Heisman. Let him just be a phenomenal linebacker, maybe the best in the country. You don't need to give him wildcat snaps to go, look what he does. He's a dual threat. He's like, no, he's not. Anybody can put Isaiah Glasker in at wildcat, and he'll probably run a touchdown or 2 in against UCF as well. What are you going to do? Hey, Jack Kelly, did you see that out of the backfield? He caught that pop pass over the top. Jack Kelly for Heisman. He's obviously a dual threat. You're like, no, he's not. Quit it with all that.
Texas Tech just needs to stop worrying about the Heisman because Rodriguez got the ultimate nod from Gus Johnson this week saying, the whiskers of West Texas.
Oh,
He's
got
it.
That's a good Gus Johnson, dude.
Headline 3, BYU bounced back after the loss to Tech with a dominant win over TCU, 44-13. Bear Bachmeier earned Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week honors. Talking about he's got it. Bear shows that he's got some fight in him.
Yeah, and I think it was a good response, and obviously that was what BYU was looking for. It's what the fans were looking for. I think it's what you could have had a repeat of last year where you go back-to-back losses, and they were able to avoid that. Headline number 4 is TCU, speaking of, one of the bigger disappointments this year in the Big 12. We thought this was going to be a team that would be in the conference race at the end. I think we're just used to now. There's going to be teams that you think are going to be at the top, and every year they're not going to be necessarily at the top. So sign me up for more Big 12 action because it's a coin toss. And headline 5 goes along with that. I wanted to bring this up because Utah beating Baylor 55-28. Utah, BYU, and Texas Tech are on a different level from the rest of the conference, not just with where they're at. I mean, the only losses that they've had, except for Tech, are all beating themselves, right? And Texas Tech is phenomenal. Utah, I wouldn't want to mess with at all right now if I'm any team. And yet, you're winning all these games by these massive margins, and Utah continues to do it. And they're the second best rushing offense in the country behind only Navy. They're ahead of Army and Air Force. Like, Kyle Whittingham is going to bed at night and dreaming of almost a triple option wishbone situation, man. He loves it.
Bert Ficklin, freshman player of the week in the Big 12. Headline 6, Dave Aranda. Is he fired yet on the Brazos?
Yes.
Because it is so bad in Waco.
He is, and the problem is they don't have an AD to do it for him because he's on the way out too, so you have to wait for that to get figured out. Dave Aranda is stayed right now just for the sake of administrative, problems. Like, so they're going to have to figure that out, but there's no way Dave Aranda is going to be able to be back in Waco.
Headline 7, West Virginia made a run to try and upset ASU, but came up short, falling 25-23. Mountaineers will not go to the postseason in year 1 under Rich Rod. And headline 8, Arizona State finding ways to win games without Sam Leavitt, who we talked about earlier. They're now 7-3 and ranked in the college football playoff rankings.
Yeah, and that's just as impressive, I think, as and look, sign me up also, and we'll get to Arizona as well at some point. But man, Arizona is a team that you look at and you go, what could have been? A couple of close losses, and they would have been in the same conversation as some of these top teams in the league. And I've been impressed because I just thought Jeff Sims was going to take them to a 4 or 5 loss season. And yeah, we'll see. I want to see how they're going to handle the ranking this week. Headline number 9, Week 13, 6 teams eligible for a berth into the Big 12 championship. Can you believe it? What a mess. Texas Tech, BYU, Utah, Arizona State, Cincinnati, and Houston all still up for grabs for a spot. They need one another to, if you're not Texas Tech or BYU, you need other people to lose for you to be able to make that happen. But we've seen crazier things, Mitch.
And headline 10, BYU and Texas Tech are the only programs this week that can clinch a spot in the Big 12 title game this week. And to break it down, headline 11, Texas Tech, who's on a bye this week, they clinch with a loss by Arizona State and a BYU win over Cincy, or with losses by ASU, BYU, and Utah. Are you keeping up to speed with all this?
The oars are going to kill me at this time of year.
And then headline 12, BYU will clinch a spot in the Edward Jones Big 12 Championship. R.I.P. to Dr. Pepper.
Oh, no.
Clinches a berth with a win over Cincy and losses by Arizona State and Houston, or with a win over Cincy and an Arizona State loss and a Utah win.
That might be the one that could be the most likely if it's going to happen. But I think you're just going to have to wait and just keep winning games to the very end here to figure it out. All right. There are our massively complicated ways for teams to get into the college football or to get into the Big 12 championship game. I'm hoping that gets whittled down just a little bit next week, because if we're doing tie-break scenarios of like coin tosses and straw pulling, I'm going to be really disappointed in this conference by next week and the week after. All right, we'll take a break. We've got our Big 12 game of the week we're going to discuss next. Arizona going to Cincinnati and showing them that their fight is still alive. Stay with us right here on First and 12 on KSL News Radio.